When I came to the church around 10 years ago, I had this vision that we at First Pres would become strategically involved with one central ministry on each continent in the planet, and that from that one ministry we could begin to shoot off a variety of other ministries as well. So far in our history, this first happened in the Dominican Republic. It's happening in Egypt with the Presbyterian Church of Egypt. It's occurring here with the Frontline Iranian Church, and then we have other dreams and visions about other continents that someone can come and talk to me about. They're still on the drawing board right now. So between that and just the dynamism that we experience that's occurring here, we felt like this is an important place to be.
You know, going to Liverpool, England, I didn't know kind of what to expect. All my previous missions work had been labor intensive, going to lower socioeconomic parts of the state and doing like lawn work and helping people in that way. I suppose it was the same because you're still communing people, and there's still that interpersonal aspect of where you're trying to reach out to the people and let them know about the good news. But then it was different because it wasn't doing any labor-intensive stuff like cutting people's lawns or building houses like they do in the DR. It was purely that interpersonal, get to know that person and let them know why Christ loves them.
What I didn't expect is how quickly we were able to build relationships with these Iranian men. In spite of the cultural and the linguistic obstacles, it was remarkable how quickly there could be an intimate bond with these men, most of them fairly young. Through our language classes and other experiences, that bond developed rapidly and genuinely, and that really took me by surprise.
I've been overjoyed to see the impact that these trips have had here to Liverpool within the participants from First Presbyterian. I've seen our folks just listening so intently to the testimony, to the strength of faith that these folks have. I think it helps us when we return to the States think about how we do evangelism. I think it makes us more committed to sharing our faith as well. The importance of community, doing life together, on mission. We see that here among our Iranians, so that amplification allows us to begin to process that information and look into our own neighborhoods and our own workplaces to see how can we minister in Christ's name in an effective way that will reach people in our own community.
I think a lot of times when you go into a mission trip, you go into a mission trip with a compassionate mindset. You go in with the mindset of like, hey, I'm going to love on these people and get to know them and spend time with them and hear about them, hear their stories, hear their struggles, their triumphs. You're going with a heart of listening and a heart of compassion. Whereas a lot of times I feel like when we get into the slog of daily life here, you go in not with a heart of compassion, but with a heart of judgment or frustration. I think approaching that with a willingness to listen, I think is the biggest thing that us as a congregation can take back from going on these mission trips and having these opportunities, taking those moment experiences and incorporating them into your life experiences, into your walking downtown, into your going to the grocery store, and taking those times to like really slow down and listen.
These missions on the congregation, I mean, you can see people when they come back, and even myself when I come back from these, you gain like a different perspective on what the mission of God is and what your place in the mission of God is. You're able to see what does serving people actually look like, and what does witnessing to people actually look like? What does discipleship actually look like? And both of those places, and our mission in general, our mission trips in general, give different angles of that. But I think those are very, very real, tangible effects that it has on the people who go on those trips.
I see folks being inspired by the stories of travail and that many Iranian Christians go through just simply to worship Jesus. The individuals that were baptized on Monday, all of those folks would have been, frankly, executed had they done such a thing in Iran.
The experience that left the biggest impact on me would have been when we went to go see 24 Iranians get baptized, and that some of them had been waiting almost 15 years to be baptized, and just the utter amount of joy on their faces when they did get baptized. Some of them were crying, some were sobbing. They were so happy. It was just a miracle in and of itself to see these people so joyful when we take that for granted here, I feel like.
Their faith is so strong. Even the ones who have recently come to Christ, it is so strong because that is almost all that they've had. Whether that be when they were in Tehran and they were hiding it, they were still intentional in like going to underground churches even when it's dangerous. Like, it's not safe.
I mean, the baptisms were incredible. Just to be there and be like, for the last couple people getting in the water and just seeing the joy on their faces, just seeing what it was that it meant to them to be following Jesus now and to be a member of this new family, and how they embodied it like immediately. It's like they came out of the water and we were all cheering and we were all hugging and calling each other brother and sister, and like just embodying what it is to be a member of the family of Christ. That's something I don't think I'll ever forget.
I hope, as a result of our experience here, that we will not take the freedoms that we enjoy for granted. We'll see this as an opportunity for us to live for Christ in dynamic ways in our own context, and so that our testimony and our ministries will flourish as theirs are.
There are so many different positive aspects to this ministry, so let's just tick off a few, all right? The first one probably is you get to witness, you get to see firsthand a robust, impactful ministry that is making a real difference in these people's lives. This is not just a church program. This is the church, capital C, in action, making a life-changing difference in the lives of people who have given so much. I have personally never sacrificed anything for the gospel. These people have sacrificed everything for the gospel, and it shows. And therefore, to be able to have the privilege of intersecting their lives and making a contribution into their lives is so meaningful and transformative.